Hello and welcome to Heaven's Baking Channel. My name is Heaven. Did you know that Americans spend around 400 hours of cooking in 1 year? Crazy, right? Well, based off a study released in 2022, with so much time being spent in the kitchen, we should really consider how important those said skills can be contributed in our modern society. I think everyone should consider baking as a job and not just viewed or thought of as a hobby that is done in spare time. Baking jobs can make a great impact on people around us and ourselves. Consider the possibilities of taking on a new challenge. Bake something you would consider hard, and maybe with that experience you will learn that baking isn't always considered fun. It can be hard because you have to have the correct ingredients and measurements to achieve what you originally wanted. It's basically all about trial, error, and patience. Some days it may be easier than others, and other days it might be harder. I'm interested because I personally love baking myself, and I admire all the people who partake baking as a job. They put a lot of time, effort, skills, and energy for baked goods to come as a customer, friends, or family requested it how they wanted to come out. We have a small bakery here in town called Manny's Fine Pastries, and they have the most absolutely delicious fritters and cinnamon twisted donuts. Those are my go-to always. Another good place would be Terry's Sweet Garden. They have about almost anything you can think of and that your heart desires. My favorite thing to get there is their chocolate covered espresso beans. They are so good. Coffee and chocolate, definitely a good combo. My grandma is also retired and she's always loved baking but never really had the chance to pursue it. But now she has that as like a little side job to keep her going and have something to do. But she's definitely loved baking just as much as I have. She has also taken classes to help better herself as a baker, which is nice. How can one be taken seriously if they consider baking a job? I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinions, but bakers do put a lot of time, effort, and energy into baking just as much as any other person with any other job. I think it can also be considered a high-end stress job because there might be a deadline that they have to meet before, and they have to complete before then. They also have to make sure all the measurements are done correctly for it to come out as they planned for it to. Bakers also stand for long periods of time throughout the day. They also deal with extreme high temperatures because they're constantly surrounded by ovens and other things that produce heat. You don't exactly have to continue going to school to pursue baking as a job, but you definitely have to have a high school diploma. If you do decide to continue education though, you can go to culinary classes or school, technical schools, or even a baking program that basically covers important topics in that baking industry. Since you are dealing with food, it is pretty much required that you get a certification in food safety procedures. What if you don't have all the necessary ingredients to bake? You don't have to exactly follow each and every ingredient because let's say you don't have it, there are other substitutes that you may have for it, and it pretty much almost gets the same work done as effectively. Just make sure you do research ahead of time and maybe even a trial and error to see if it comes out the same with and without that said ingredient that you need. I would say take the time out of your day, find something to bake and ask yourself, was this an easy or hard task? Now imagine people doing this as a job every day. There are plenty of shows that are about baking, and it shows people putting in the work, effort, and time to make something. It also shows the struggles that they have to face, and they have to find solutions for it. Some good resources that I've researched would be Anybody Can Bake, Culinary Classroom, or Production Baking. I think baking should be taken as a serious job because they put just as much time and effort into making these baked goods for us, just as much as everyone else with a different job. So go out, get some of your baking ingredients, and start your career in baking today. Thank you for stopping by and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed making this video. Thank you so much.